Yeah. Why? If you vote, all three. No, I mean, yeah. Everybody else. You just want to somebody is to buyer. You need the 450 there. It's under 50. It's just, you know, it's a small. Okay. Thank you. Oh. It's the girls in Lucas area. It's you fun. Right. Aaron. Yeah. Something. I used to do whenever I would increase. Yes, she was getting yeah. It was okay. Sweden. Oh. Oh, we already, yeah, great. Okay. We'll call this meeting together in about 10 seconds. Let running. Okay, everybody, I'd like to call the meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Elections to order. At this time, I'm going to introduce so I'll start, and I'm David Gady. I'm here for the budget. I'm Brandon. I'm the Democratic Rep. All right, thank you all for being here this morning. I want to start off, I'm going to introduce Catherine Goodwin and to say thank you. Thank you for your office. She is a representative from the county attorney's office, and a lot of we work closely with Natalie, sound with Stanton Avenue. We get another partner, the county attorney's office, who's just been great with Denver. It's taken office with county attorney and then our county attorney elect and staff has been a big service with the office. And we've been taking on a lot of big fights to it, but I think it's continue. So thank you for all your hard work. So members of the public, we welcome people speaking forward in the event they do have something beneficial to the board to consider. We do ask that you consider adding the agenda, the next agenda, be something that's relevant. And we also always look for information. So feel free to send us messages. So the second item on the agenda is to accept the agenda. So have a motion. Properly second, stated it being although our chair is present today, we give it for. It's probably seconded. All those in favor, vote say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Motion carries. The third item on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the May primary election. We have a motion.
Second.
Second. Those opposed, ayes have it. Motion carries. There is no other business to discuss in the previous meeting, so we're going to move on to new business. And our first item of new business is the date for the first meeting here, the general election. Sally, would you explain?
So you all have that list in your folder. So if you keep that and just take a look at it after, if you have any conflicts with any of these dates, get a hold of Kristen Jill, so we can always make sure that we have one, if we do need to have one for all of these. And just know that if by chance you do have a review this, Kristen Jill will let you know, ahead of time.
Like I said, working for is some maybe fall primary because my name is ballot. Make sure prior so since I think I'm Jim do thank our Joel here is good in. So the second item of new business is the polling location update. This can you give us an update?
The polling location data happening is there really hasn't been any changes as of yet, but there is a name change. On the location is the Du Bois Academy that used to be on Indian Trail is now become Grace Jane Academy. It is a name change, it's not, we're still at that location. And we're able to get that updated.
And we'll be able to put in the rotation something previously that avoids or something.
I guess we could still do that in our list. We could say that, but when they get their, when they get their orientation, they something to say, okay, maybe we can. That would be with the public, or I don't know.
Okay, maybe everybody. What I do, I think, and a lot of times you can provide versus something you fit in right over previous name. Still some of the parishes and stuff involved in years ago.
It affects people. It affects people.
Okay. And then so sure that it hasn't had changes, just the name change, still having all
Yeah, well, the pieces are out. The pieces are out right now. I don't have the exact numbers. They haven't, I'm fairly. So there could be other small changes, which we would update.
And then one thing that I think that we're really excited to talk about and your it's looking at possible vote centers as a way to be able to make it easier for people to vote. And look at best practice in the United States and all cancer. One that you have people come in, which find a precinct, they come to the election office, try to apply the election office. We thought a way to accommodate this year would be the Kentucky Fair Tradition Center allowing us to actually use that one location as a vote center on election. So in the event that it's more convenient, you're still going to have your precincts where you're supposed to vote, but just like early voting, anyone can vote. Yes, they are. There's addition. We're still working on issues with whether or not we can do drive through, which I think should help people involved inside a closed. So still looking at the administration there, different there, but it's just been excellent. And so, while we're still hammering out the details, and I can't say there's a stable here. That's something, or anything we can do to access that. Would be sure that it's someone, is a registered voter, wants to cast their ballot, or trying to cast their ballot. I did know there was an issue sometimes with parking, because of people with disability, or traffic, or location, all that. In the event, we want to make sure we're not, there's restrictions on actually taking the equipment out of the location to an individual. But it does not restrict, kind of drive through, and bring COVID shot, they had 6 lanes, we're driving through, so it can be, there can be that combination of the public, it's just whether we figure it out, in that partnership, this election. Again, there's no finality there. This team has been working their butt off. I appreciate all the effort. It kind of give Jefferson County just kind of a taste to see. There's many people that plan on voting on off. Where do I vote? They receive a card, we can get on to one line. Just anything we can do. So anyway, I just want to bring that to attention. It's not final, obviously, as we get more information. Okay, so on this update, this is just the polling locations. That really moving. They're set, name change so far with additional contracts. We have all the names on the dotted line.
And what you have there is the ballot drop box, just mainly our plan to the election plan is submitted to the state. We really submitted it in January, but since we're doing a few changes, it's really the same plan, it's just we're talking about and the fairgrounds and the election day votes. And there have been some changes in the locations of our early votes. I'm still waiting on a few contracts, being fairgrounds. We actually have the rooms, it's just the lawyer back and forth for contract. Which Catherine's doing a wonderful job at. They're not saying there's no way, it's just time for the other one, we're sort of waiting for contract with Metro. Usually we don't have trouble. It's just a matter of getting those paperwork out.
I can tell you, as someone that served as a local government and state government, I know that the administration and fair board understand the importance of elections and democracy. Can't imagine anything else being more important. This is the state legal requirements. So everything I've heard is definitely positive. So I'm excited. Hopefully,
Yeah, I don't. They have told me that there should be.
We have a bunch of officials everywhere in case it is that.
Yes.
and that one of the things that was saying is I'm hoping step one to help expand our voter outreach. That's sort of now district working. One of the benefits of additional people saying people engaged. Our PR team communication, let them know the importance of engaging in voting, also their service. And so we're on the first time people call, that's even now, sometimes you get the same primary. A lot of people call it now.
So Brandon was saying that what we're gonna do is, because it's early voting at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, then election officer order. Gerald and Jeff will keep those same election officers who work at the fairground on election day, and they'll, already be used to the, doing the machines and stuff like that, so.
Again, I can't make a function yet until we've got one.
The plan itself is really- it's not really changing. That's the biggest change in fairgrounds. We should have it. If some of those back out, we'll add, I will find out.
So the purpose of the agenda here today in the presentation, we have a plan in front of us. We need a motion to. Properly moved second. All those in favor, sign by saying aye. Those opposed, ayes have it. Third item on the agenda is new business, the percentage of ballots to be ordered general election. Richard, I know this is when you've been doing a deep dive every year.
Just for some background, in 22 was the basis of this election. And we got 44% for this election. It's usually one of our better. Right, but it's still good. I'm going to suggest 60% as part of the ballot. With the new technology, it doesn't mean able to print it out. Somebody is going to know, people know. I can have a printer and a computer that are printed out pretty much within 20 minutes anywhere.
And if we see them taking early voting, so right as well.
Hopefully, early voting hasn't been increasing, so as it increases, the less people vote. You don't need that 100%, that real high number percentage. And if you've ever been to our warehouse after election, understand why that is a huge amount. They'll be happy to tell you there's a huge amount of balance that we just have to shred. You can't eat the way you recycle. Yeah, throw it.
One of the early on in the 3 years, 100% of the ballot, also, what I wanted to do for like economics and just say, even though you kind of gave it the same information, you still over 85. But I wanted to make sure technology proud vendor information with technology capabilities very quickly. You may not understand. And so what's something we have in it, even some stages of people get it. On their meeting record. So I do like that event. And now that we have early voting, we kind of gauge what kind of turnout. So if early voting is indicating I still like to hear from the side of caution. And then also we have very responsive in votes in election day. We anticipate the percentage of people who participate to vote the ballot or senator as well. So we don't need 10% or 20%. And so right now this is kind of a test. But we're just as an abundance of caution, and this is maybe all you're I would think just most people are done 44%, knowing that we can print 20 minutes notice, and knowing we can gauge it, but still just that it should cost in case of any problem. You said that's just 65%. I'm just throwing that in front of us. Knowing we can get it at 85%.
What's the price?
I'm sorry, I didn't.
What's the price difference? Because it's going to be $1,000 buffer.
Well, when you say 65%, we actually round up our numbers. You know, we take that number, registered voter, we round it to the nearest factor 50 because you have to order a factor 50. So if you're saying 65%, you're really going to get about that.
Okay. So if we order 60%, we really
If you order 60%, you probably come out around 65%. But, you know, that is a round up. You would never want to round that.
Question being, when we have done 100%, did we pay $100,000 and we did 60% or we paying 60%?
then
We paid for one. Even though we're talking 50.
We have about 187,000 over registered voters.
yeah, 587,000 registered voters. 22%. Lobster. I mean, it 22 cents. It's oh, and we're going to do it. Okay. And I do feel better when we said we round up, even when we say 60% here, but close to 65%. I'm going to verification. And no. I probably second, all those favors on this, and those opposed, I have it. And with order of 60% of the ballots, knowing that we increase the technology heavily, and in the event that early voting shows some type of indication higher, we can start running. The budget's function. Yes, and that's, and I can tell you, coming back, range of the team, turn it up, making sure people understand. We start trying to make it easier. Everybody in this room today is a long time. Continue to try to appreciate that. Appreciate your hard work anytime. I can give you kudos. So that's probably moving second that motion carried. The next item on the agenda is for new business, and it is the election plan election. Kind of talk about it.
If you need any other questions, it truly is basically the same.
The exact same.
We're preventing. There's just a few name changes.
It just to clarify, since we did, since this was separated out two motions, I mean, on their agenda, laid out, but just to clarify, knowing that we have also presented a discussion of the ballot percentage and also the election plan with both. Just for clarity for this meeting, mayor and set the election plan. So move. Probably move in second. Favors on it. I was supposed to have it, that motion. And almost passed for a second time. Issue clarity. Don't have any changes. And then the fifth item of new business is the Allen County program. And so it's definitely give us one.
That's a problem. Then probably on the last round. For that, program administrator, voting machine, budgeting accuracy, and also the program meetings, placing ballots and program ballot selection. And what's the difference?
I have a motion. Could probably move second. All those in favor, respond by saying that. Aye. Evidence, motion carries. Sixth and final item of new business is going to be increasing address audit. So, a few news stories lately, some additional information. Just want to put a quick rundown for, as you guys know, legislature in 2020 passed legislation kind of looking into some of the agreements that happened, county lines and for both, saying that we have to have a centralized point areas. So they asked the 54th election require that they have got one admin system. They looked into a business process to quite some time. So this improvement in technology in 2024, product again, it said shall judges and clerks shall, based on the admin system that is laid out elections, shall determine with property addresses and what individual households and owners lie on what side based on their admin system. And it clearly our office follow the law there. And the reflection and notification of each of those individuals is basically their attention to the past and identify the next district. No lines have been used. Expect you, each of the clerk's offices, the county, notify those that enter. So the letterhead that we were reflecting, sent out from the clerk's office, notify that change. It definitely created a little bit of misinformation thing. There's really some questions that it brings up. So what I did is we're filing a declaration action in order to use our job as a county official here. I don't get to make a judicial decision on how all the laws laid out. I did need to create a form that you can get out there differences and resolve it. I did not want to have this board is directly come in to be also following for the election junction period. This needs to be resolved. There's legislature, like officials, my neighbor, clerks, clerks association, everyone is along to resolve this. So that is great. Sitting in agreement once this is filed, maybe and the five agreements. We have got something. It's a letter statement, a handshake. It's not even. That's all. That's the back, but rolling into the audit. If you may recall, part of the audit started the house by house audit, 507,000 households, first time in history. House by house audit determination state of the 2186 and flag potential issues. The deeper dive to kind of total and give us this number a little bit of leeway. I'm sticking with the 1776. But no one could be a few of them that may have actually pretty certain that it's close to 1,776 at this stage. Now that number, when you read 1,776 sounds, if you look at a percentage, it is a percentage of a percentage. So small and compared to the 5,000. But they were issues that we looked into, and they were including some issues with geocode agency. There were some there, homeless addresses, those hotels. Maybe they remember someone who was unknown, they have every right to vote. The registers have the right to vote. They have the name and address. Sometimes it may be in commercial properties, shelter, so that gets real valuable. But the homeless addresses could have been there. Then we also found that some technology is outdated. It is an organized spreadsheet. It depends on individuals to enter in addresses about these. And some people also don't know the register code. Some individuals. If they write street, you drive, it's wrong. You get something wrong. But you know, so that doesn't. So those are where's spent a little number in. I'm really proud of the team and hours, weeks, and late nights they spent doing this, coming in and making sure it's right. But my testimony to the legislature was we've done something that no one, that most people don't have the resources to do. Elections, but it's only good. It's relevant at the time in which the body's been, because there's no real time update of system for the update. So really are serious with the elections, making sure that all these are constantly updated and clear. And we're going to have to invest in technology and working with the Clerk Association role here. work with the legislature to see. So it will be updated, rule. Because this isn't just an issue, it's testified on under oath, not just an issue Jefferson County, it's all. Jefferson County is definitely in interest for being that get a lead in that regard. But I want to be in a way that we give the resources to try. We went to the Cape, eventually we meet with other large cities and other states. Most people have those kind of resources. Most people that invest in that technology are just behind. But there is an appetite. Why? So why are we doing this? First, because it's our second is because of our collection of data. So I do want to bring to our attention that we had found about 776 mismatches identified, corrected, and we're waiting right now for our response on a request proposal. Next to have an outside search done for the additional audit. Now, we had 5 different companies submitted to us, so we're on track with the audit process. And part of this is because of this information. So when you did your own audit, the state did their audit. Well, what I want to do is a bunch of that I want to show that it outside of and maybe it's the same ones that the other states, their issues, how within the show, how correct, how level of integrity the process. So we'll be able to submit that outside audit. The other thing that shows the state how important it is to have a record. Because if there's additional things found, it shows it's necessary. As much as we love it and how put in here long hours, that's necessary.
Except for resolution, so it's.
Yes. So it's what we've done internally is the 1,776 mismatches have been corrected. We've gone. What I want to see is, and we're on track with the that was part of the process, process is that they had to be really quick. So sloppy or out immediately couldn't do the project because. But so now when I say they may come up behind something else, and we know where this is our bodies, it takes time. People are constantly training, people are constantly pressure. So I want to see how it is. Yeah, we're on track.
So I did the census in 2002. Yeah, everyone's trying to find out where everything is, where they belong. How's all of this tied in with what the census is doing? They're interviewing. Is it time with the census call?
Well, I think that the idea of having this thing serve, which obviously, since it's partially determined on self-reporting, and I think a lot of individuals, they weren't really any project. They were showing property, he said there was a location, it just wasn't correct. And so I think that they deserve a process. There's a difference between this statute that requires you to look at it and the voting very different requirements. So the part of voting is you have to vote where you live. Like you don't get to make a different agreement or to say that it's not, you can't do that. There is legal requirements that you vote in the county which you reside. Now, school districts and even taxation issues, there's different requirements. So those would be all agreed to and everything else. But whenever we have a statute place and it says everything for shall, then I think that's open good and follow law. But doing that, it doesn't mean that we can't also find try to get a solution. So I served legislation for 6 years. I'm kind of passing consider anything. So the consequences of the situation based on my meeting with my colleague there was an after situation. That's why we're on the deck actually. Hopefully just to give it a chance to be able to sit down and see any breaks.
Quick question, we need executive session if we need to, but are we aware of it?
Probably keep consistent, not correct. Yeah, nothing's been filed, obviously, there have been conversations, forever of that, into it. But mostly we do this, because no one else. In all of their residents, up to us to make sure that there's not any questions. And there may be, maybe if kids going to county school, they find out, but the Jefferson County in 2 years, that's a shock. It's why I think the statute doesn't affect. Well, that seems what, so I just wanted, I do get it, we don't get meetings. But we provide a formal change or legislature. So we're neutral on the decision, as vowels. That's not our job, but we can be a platform. We should be representing our constituents, have an opportunity to hear. I will honestly keep the board updated with this. I think it's going to affect us on what the determination is. I will have this table chair, but it can do. I will provide her. I don't know how we're going to work. And it was just now following so we're not judge order. I anticipated. I think I'll take one sure. All this quickly. This is not something we had tried on to have. So this is, while we are doing it, while we make sure that I don't think there's any session. That's a problem. And so I'll think. There. Well,